Fraser, if you can cast your mind back to last year, it was, I think, one of the biggest TV crowds in Australia ever. Like 2:30 in the morning, everybody staying up. Can you reflect on what that victory meant to you and your family back home in Australia?
Yeah, I was fortunate enough that I had my mum and dad and my brother in the stands. So to have them there and to get a really special win, which we, I think it was 10 years prior before we won last in Twickenham, and just what it meant for the group. I think prior to that we only had James Slibber who had won at Twickenham. So it meant a lot for the group, and to see where that's taken us and sort of slingshot us into the Lions and South Africa, I guess it's been massive.
You're obviously going to face a really mobile, tough back row. Some of the players you would have obviously faced for the Lions. Tell me about that challenge facing England and Twickenham with Tom Curry coming off the bench, like really impressive team.
Yeah, they've picked basically 5'7", mobile, can all carry. Jack will get on the ball, tackle really well. So yeah, they're definitely a huge threat. Their Six Nations coming second this year. A lot of the boys coming off some really competitive footy, Lions, and playing in a great Prem competition up here. So yeah, they're going to be up and about and ready for the first game of the Autumn Nations. But so are we. We've had a great year, and we've got some great players and who can do some crazy things as well. So really looking forward to the challenge, and I think it's just going to bring the best out of both teams.
As the opposition seven, when a team picks 3 sevens to start and another 2 on the bench, does that change how you approach the game at all personally?
No. Just do my job.
As a team, strategically, how does that change what they're going to bring?
Well, they all can carry, so it's difficult to sort of answer that. But if you compare that to like a big French team where they're going to carry and just be, carry. Players that they've selected are very skillful. They can pass, they can have great footwork. You can, sure they'll be great in the wider channels, but the way that England like to play means the acceleration, the kicking games. They're going to be in every contest. They're going to be threats on the ground. So for us, we're going to have to be ruthless at sort of making sure we secure our own ball every time. And I guess having that factor in is just going to be a great competition factor on Saturday.
Allan, you're going to come off the bench, massive job. Ellis Gench is going to be the man you're facing. Can you just tell me, what's he like to face in the scrum, and what does he bring in terms of the challenge?
He's obviously they're well experienced, front row. He obviously brings that leadership, to their team, and he's someone who prides himself around the set piece, like all the English forwards do, and I think he's also a strong ball carrier as well. So, I think he's going to add that punch coming off the bench, alongside, a few other Lions that they've, picked to come off their bench as well. So, just really looking forward to that challenge. Like when you play Test footy, you want to go up against the best, and I think we've got a great challenge ahead of us.
You were in incredible form, and then obviously did your shoulder injury, came back. How are you feeling? Do you feel you're back at your best, or you still have a way to go?
I feel like I'm getting there. I've got put through my paces a bit throughout the year. To come back and try and make the rugby championship at some stage, and I think that recovery's gone really well. I came back earlier than expected, so in really good shape and ready to go this weekend.
Fraser, at the breakdown, it's just the toughest part of rugby. Sometimes how it's officiated. Recently, it's got a bit better with discipline, but it was an area that the Wallabies were getting penalised quite a bit. How do you work on that as a seven, because you are on the absolute edge? Like, do you study the referee, or is it just a case of you guys listening, to the calls? Like, how do you approach that, finding the balance between competing and then knowing when to leave?
I think it's on the player first. You have to understand what's unfolding in front of you and have an understanding of the rules, and that happens by just sheer practice and sheer repetition throughout games and at training, which are very they're big on it here. When we train, it's quite physical and it's great, prep for us. But yeah, you have to listen to the refs. You have to understand how each refs a game. So I've had a lot of different refs who interpret different rules. I try to do my best to go up there and make a connection quite early, see how they're going to ref that area, maybe give a penalty away, I don't know, but then you get a basis of what's he going to allow and what he isn't. But it's a case-by-case sort of situation. You don't really know until you're in the thick of it, and you try your best to hear, and if not, you ask the ref quite nicely to be a bit louder and hope he listens to you. Yeah.
I suppose Matt,
Fraser, Joe earlier was saying that this is his last game as head coach at Twickenham. Do you sense that in training that it's been any difference, or as a player group have you discussed that, let's do it for Joe?
Have not discussed that at all. I think it's probably aware within the group of this sort of tour and the upcoming games we have, but I think Joe's been incredible, and he's just been the same as he has the past sort of 18 months. He's outcome focused, he process focused, he's everything that we need, and he's really just driving us to be our best on Saturday.
I was going to ask as well, it's not really necessarily your remit, Fraser, but the aerial game, it's, you're obviously going to be crumbing around the ground. I saw at training you had the AFL ketchup bottles, not you obviously, but how much confidence do you have that the boys can get up there who are on the wings and really nail that? Because England, it's going to be a lot of aerial bombs coming up there in London.
Yeah, they've got a good tactic, and they've got some great specialists in the air. But so do we. Really excited to see the boys go at it. We've got some great athletes. Jorgo, Sue, Kel's in the back. Potts as well in the back three. So. Boys can do some damage, and like you said, it's crucial. We want to get those ball back. We want to play our footy. I'm sure so do they. So, it'll be quite tasty.